Damien, why don't you tell me what happened?
Ma'am, I was coming home from, we had a preseason football party, pretty much, me and a couple of the players.
What time was it?
This was around, I was coming home around 11:30ish, and I'd actually just got off the phone with my mother. I was walking, and I got about 3 houses down, and I noticed a car behind me with their lights on. Where I'm from, usually you see a car behind you. The creeping at this time of night, that means get out of Dodge. So I immediately ran towards my drive-thru and was going to open my door when I noticed that the car had actually came up and stopped and turned its lights off. So at this point, I'm fumbling. I'm trying to get my keys open. And then the next thing I know, I hear...
Were you on the phone with your mom? Did you try to call your mom and say, Mom, I think somebody's following me?
No, ma'am. At this point, I was just trying to get in the house.
Have you ever been in trouble before?
No, ma'am.
Or never been arrested for anything?
No, ma'am.
You just knew that it was not a good thing that somebody was following you?
Right.
Okay. Was it because of the color of your skin that you were scared, or was it you were just freaked out because somebody's following you?
I would say more so instinct, because back where I'm from originally, things like the last time somebody pulls up, somebody pulls up behind you.
I see. I hear you. Okay, so then you hurry up, you run to the house, you're fumbling, trying to get your keys, and what happens?
The last thing I heard was some footsteps behind me, and then the next thing I know, I wake up and there's a paramedics, and he's standing there. My mother is talking to him, and he's just pretty much going on about how I didn't belong in the neighborhood. He didn't know who I was. I was just a figure.
So you don't remember what happened to you?
No, ma'am.
So were you the car that was following him? Was he doing anything suspicious?
What I first saw, it was a dark evening. There was no moon. What I saw first was just a figure, a shadow. As I got a little closer and I had my lights on, I could see that it was a young black man. We don't have
What were you wearing, Damien?
I had on my football letterman jacket, high school, with my high school logo on the back of it.
Okay, and you were in jeans and
Yes.
sneakers?
Jeans and sneakers and my letterman jacket.
Okay. And so did you recognize that he was wearing a high school jacket?
Unfortunately, I didn't. We don't have any black families that live in the neighborhood. So this was a person that was out of place.
So wrong.
Out of place because you had never seen him before? Or because he looked dangerous? Or because he was just walking down the street? Did he look dangerous?
He aroused my suspicion.
Why did he arouse your suspicion?
2 reasons. First of all, 3 reasons. First, I didn't know him. Secondly, he was black, and we don't have any black
Your Honor,
families.
he's just a trigger-happy vigilante. Really, that's what you are. You're a vigilante.
No, absolutely not. I'm protecting the community.
And you're a bit of a creep.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, so he aroused your suspicion because he was black.
And we don't have any black families.
And because he was black.
And the moment that my lights started to hit him, he then started to run. And
how close were you following him, or how slowly were you driving, creeping next to him?
I'd say probably before I even saw him, I was just driving, say, maybe 15 miles an hour.
When you saw him, you started to follow him. How fast were you following, or how fast
I slowed down because...
How slow were you driving? 5, 10 miles an hour?
Yeah, probably at that.
So you were keeping up with his pace of walking?
He was coming from the other direction. And I saw him turn and go up the driveway.
He said that somebody was behind him, following him in the car.
I don't recall that, but what happened was when I saw him in the driveway...
When you saw him walking into the driveway, did you recognize that house?
I didn't know the family that lived there, and there were no lights on.
Did you know if somebody had moved out of that house?
We did know, I did know that there was a family there, but...
You had not met the family?
I had not met the family.
So then, did it occur to you that maybe it was a black family that moved into that house?
It did not occur to me, but we have no black families.
Okay, but the point is that you had no idea who lived there.
That is correct.
And that you somehow knew that was a new family. So did it not occur to you it could have been he was part of that family?
All I saw was someone that did not appear to be in the neighborhood, and he started running when he saw my lights.
I'd start running if somebody was following me. I'd freak out. I'd start running faster than I could. I'd probably start calling the phone. What would you do if somebody was following you that closely and that slowly and late at night, almost at midnight? How would you react?
I would look over my shoulder as well. But from my standpoint, he doesn't belong in the neighborhood.
You wouldn't be scared?
If someone slowed down, yes, I would.
You see somebody suspicious. What are you told to do in the in the home watch, the neighborhood watch? What are you told to do? To call the police?
Normally we are supposed to place a call.
Okay, so you're supposed to place the call to the security, I imagine, to the security service a homeowner association does, right? And then, or you're supposed to call the police. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
All right? Just in case, because what if this were a true intruder, and what if they have a gun, and what if they would have approached you that way, right? So for your safety, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to follow protocol. But you did not do that, right?
That is correct.
So then you followed him, and what did you do?
I pulled over to the side. I turned off my lights, turned off my engine.
Did you roll down your window and say, young man, what are you doing? Do you belong here?
I did not.
Who are
because,
you? What's your name?
Your Honor, he disappeared behind a hedge. And so I got out of the car.
So then you got out of the car. Did you yell after him and say, please stop, who are you?
I first got to where I could see him. I got to probably within about 15 to 20 feet of him.
Did you take the shovel out of your car immediately?
I was driving I have a pickup truck.
Okay, but did you take the shovel? Did you take your shovel out of the car?
I did, because.
So you knew you needed to use that shovel. So you needed a weapon, so you took the shovel out.
That is correct.
Okay, so you were already walking with him with it, and you saw him, and did you say to him, please stop, who are you?
About 15 to 20 feet, I said,
were you on
who is
private
that?
property at that moment?
I was.
Okay, why were you in somebody's house?
Because I thought this young man was about to break in. He was bent over when I saw him. He was fiddling at the door.
What was he doing? Did you give him a chance to respond and say, what are you doing?
I said, who is this? And he didn't answer me.
Did you remember him saying, who is this, Damien?
No, ma'am.
You don't remember anything? That he talked to you and said, who are you? Did you turn around and say, who are you? Did you have time to react that way?
No, ma'am. I heard the footsteps, and I immediately went to my keys, and as I was fiddling with the door.
He's being chased by this guy. This guy's the creep, and he's running to get away from him.
You didn't hear anybody say, who are you?
No, ma'am.
So then maybe you didn't say, who are you, and what did you do next?
Your Honor, I did say, who are you?
He didn't hear you.
But I didn't know that.
Maybe he was petrified. How old are you, Damien?
17.
Maybe the 17-year-old, and he's not really big, he's thin, but maybe he was petrified. Did you think that?
All I saw was someone trying to break into a house.
Wits.
He was trying to break into a house as far as I was concerned.
But you had no idea who lived there, right? You had no idea, and you had no idea that he was trying to break into the house.
That's what I perceived at the time.
So then let's follow your logic. So you see him walking down the street. He's black, he's black, he's black. 3 reasons why he doesn't fit in. So instead of calling the security, 911, you decide to get it out of your car, grab your shovel, follow him, and assault him, assume he's breaking in, then hit him? How many times did you hit him?
Just once, Your Honor.
Where?
In the back.
You could have killed
him. Where in the back?
About midway.
How hard?
I can't gauge that. Hard enough that he fell down.
Hard enough that you knocked him unconscious?
I don't know that.
Hard enough that he is not allowed to play football for the rest of the season because his doctor's concerned about his spine and his back?
You ruined his senior year, by the way.
And nerve damage. Have you seen the doctor report? Have you seen what happened to him?
Your
Do you
Honor,
know that?
I have
That
not.
must have been some force and some fright that you had, that you believed this person was committing a burglary.
I did believe he was committing
Really?
a burglary.
And you hit him that hard. Did he turn around and try to assault you? Did he try to hit you?
No,
so I can see if there was some kind of self-defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, he didn't. Did he yell at you? Stop following me? Did he say, you old man, what are you doing? Did he say anything like that to you?
He did not.
You did not give him a chance. What if you would have hit him in the head?
I deliberately didn't.
Oh, you deliberately didn't. God, that's even worse. Your actions were reckless. They were beyond negligent. They were disturbing. They were disgusting. They were, I'm ashamed. I'm almost embarrassed to be a human being that you would attack a young kid just because he was walking down the street. He had no gun. He had no nothing. And just because he was a kid, you didn't even call. I mean, you see this on the news all the time. Why don't you just call the police? Don't take the law into your own hands. And don't assume that you have the right and the privilege to judge people. Because you do not. You do not. You could have killed him. Mrs. Jennings, I am
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to grant your $3,000 claim for emotional distress.
Thank you.
And you're not even suing for all the medical bills. I mean, I don't understand why you're not doing that.
Your Honor, at this point, I just want closure. There's nothing worse than being moved from one neighborhood and being told you're being placed into a safer environment, and then it turns out that I'm not safe simply because of the color of my skin. Like, my mom brought me here saying that I'd be cool, there'd be nothing to worry about, and here I am, I have to look over my shoulder just like I did before, but not because it's somebody that's coming to, somebody my age, a gang member or something, but some older white guy who thinks I'm doing something wrong.
I know. You know what, Damon? Quite honestly and bluntly, it sucks. It so sucks. Excuse my language. But you know something? You're going to meet people like Mr. Taylor for the rest of your life. And either they define you or you define yourself. It was his problem, not yours. Clearly, you did absolutely nothing wrong. It happens all the time. It's going to happen until the day you die. Okay? So do not let it bother you. Based on the evidence, I will grant your claim, Mrs. Jennings, for $3,000. Good luck.